Hey, what's going on YouTube? Chuckles again, another Diablo 3 video. Today I'm going to be showing you my wizard's build. As you can see him here, and we're going to be talking about him. He is a fire wizard, which in patch 2.0.5 I believe is probably one of the strongest elementals to go. Cold wizard is actually pretty good too with the arcane orb, frozen orb. Let's just go ahead and jump right into my wizard here. So for skills, on my primary left click I'm using magic missile with conflagrate. Fire spell that's halfway decent. It does quite a bit of damage. The problem I have with it is it only shoots one little bolt, and that's all it really does, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Meteor with meteor shower, this is your main damage dealing spell. So here, let's unzoom out, and if you look, you spam some meteor showers and it just lights the place up. So I use Meteor Shower over the Molten Impact because Molten Impact only shoots one. It hits a lot harder, yes, but it also adds a 15-second cooldown, and I'm not a big fan of that, so I use Meteor Shower. My number one key is Black Hole with Blazer, which is the only fire one on there. But what I like about it is it sucks them in and then blows up, which is awesome. So if you look at that, boom, blows up. See what I'm saying? And it's a fire spell, so it will benefit from all of your plus fire damage on your gear. Teleport with Wormhole, I mainly use this to get away from walling, get out of jail, jailers. If I'm standing in poison or desecrate or something like that, I use this as a defensive kind of movement kind of thing. Magic Weapon with Ignite, we're dealing nothing but fire damage, so the Ignite on Magic Weapon, not only does it increase your damage by 10%, but it also deals 86% weapon damage as fire over 3 seconds after burning enemies. Excuse me. Energy Armor with Pinpoint Barrier, this is pretty much on every wizard. 5% critical hit chance is hard to pass up. Also increases your armor by 35%, but it lowers your arcane power by 20, which is the only trade-off. Well worth it in my opinion. Blur, decreased damage taken by 17%, is the first passive I use. It's just great for higher torments. I know I'm only in Torment 1 right now, but it's just great for higher torments. Prodigy, this is what I use in order to regain arcane power faster. When you cast a signature spell, you gain 5 arcane power, and Magic Missile, our left click up here, primary, is one of the ones, so you get 5 arcane power from that every time you cast it. Astral Presence, I use this to kind of compensate for the fact that I use Energy Armor, Pinpoint Barrier. Increases your maximum armor by 20 and arcane power regeneration by 2 per second. So that's what I use in order to conflict with the minus 20 from Energy Armor. Conflagration is the last passive I use. Fire damage dealt to enemies applies a burning effect, increasing their chance to be critically hit by 6%. So basically everybody's going to be hit with fire damage because the Meteor Shower, like you saw, hits a very widespread area of effect. So everybody's going to be on fire and fire damage, and it applies a burning effect that gives them another 6% critical hit chance. So basically it's just extra damage for free, which I like. So let's go ahead and buff up here. And now let's take a look at my paragons. So as you can see, my gear is nothing special. It's just a bunch of thrown together legendaries. There's actually not a whole lot of fire, elemental plus fire damage or whatnot. So I'm close to 1 million DPS, 6.5 million toughness, and close to 10,000 healing. So Paragon, I go to 13% movement speed just to hit the cap of 25%, and then I put the rest into maximum arcane power. As you can see, I'm now with 122. And I do that because I want to be able to spam as many meteor showers as I possibly can. Offense, I go critical hit damage because if you look at my details here, my critical hit chance is at 53%, so that's good enough for me. Attack speed, I'm at 34%, so my critical hit damage is kind of low. But what I would suggest is to put your Paragon points into whichever of those 3 stats is the lowest. So my lowest one is critical hit damage, so that's where I put them. Cooldown reduction is also kind of nice too, but on this build it's really unnecessary. The only 2 things you have with cooldown is going to be Teleport, which is only 11 seconds, and then Black Hole, which is 12 seconds, and it's really not that big a deal. Defense, it's a toss-up for me between life regeneration and armor. I don't go resist all because I think I'm sitting somewhere around 1100 all resist, all the way up to some of them go to 1700, which is plenty enough for me, especially farming Torment 1, which is what I mainly do. So I go life regeneration because you're not always guaranteed a health globe. Utility, I go full resource cost reduction to lower the cost of meteor as much as I possibly can. It is 40 arcane power cost, so I try to just lower that. You could also go life on hit if you have more arcane power than I do. So that is my fire build. It works great with what I need is a mirror's ball here for the magic missile. I want the one that shoots 2 extras, so it'd be 3 of those little sparks out instead of just the 1. So you want to go for a mirror's ball. The Firebird set is what I'm mainly going for. Enemies killed by fire damage explode and set nearby enemies on fire, dealing 300% weapon damage over 5 seconds. So that would be great. A Ring of Royal Grandeur is kind of a must. Reduces the number of items needed for set bonuses by 1 to a minimum of 2. So once you gear out a wizard and you go with this build, it's simply amazing. It just lays waste to everything. So that's pretty much all I had for the build. I will go ahead and give you guys a little bit of gameplay after this, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope the build is beneficial, and I hope to see you rocking some wizards soon, guys. This is Chuckles again, and I'll see you next time.